You're watching a special Tornado Facts with Beanrock124 video. My name is Nathan and I talk about tornadoes all the time. And I talked about this tornado outbreak way too much that I in fact stayed home a day from school earlier this week to watch this tornado outbreak live. And it turned out very, very successful, possibly saving the lives of a few people that watched the video. This outbreak I'm talking about is the tornado outbreak of December 12th through 15th, 2022. And you know what that means. If this is a special Tornado Facts with Beanrock124 video that is toward the end of the year, that means this is the final Tornado Facts with Beanrock124 video of 2022. The reason is, next Sunday is Christmas. I'm recording this Sunday night, so next Sunday is Christmas, and I don't feel like making a video that day because I'll be busy with family, and I don't feel like anybody's going to be watching the video because it's Christmas. Everybody should be with their families, having a good time. But anyways, that's a week out, and who knows what could happen in a week out. We could have a high risk of severe weather on December 25th, of all I know. But as of right now, nothing is looking likely, and I'll prove it. See? So, this tornado outbreak from December 12th to 15th, 2022 was a 4-day outbreak that affected the central and southern United States in mid-December of 2022. Or, just a couple days ago. The outbreak produced strong tornadoes in Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Georgia, resulting in severe damage and 3 fatalities. A high-end EF1 tornado was caught on video from multiple angles as it caused considerable damage in Grapevine, Texas. It's the video where the tornado crosses the highway and it looks very violent, but in reality it's only an EF1. 5 people were injured from this tornado, and 2 large EF2 tornadoes were seen near DeBary, Texas, and Stonewall, Louisiana, to the southwest of Shreveport, Louisiana, with the second one causing severe damage and 2 fatalities near Keyatchee, Louisiana. I saw this one live. I put it on YouTube. It had a lot of views. I hope it saved somebody's life. I hope it contributed to having somebody's life saved. But that was not the only video I made about this outbreak. Another fatality was confirmed in St. Charles Parish, Louisiana, and a damaging EF2 tornado impacted the parts of the New Orleans metro, following a path similar to the EF3 tornado in March of this year. Yeah, you heard me right. March. It followed the same path. It pulled a Moore, Oklahoma, in New Orleans. And there's also some stupid thing I saw online. Oh, I forgot where, but it said, "I've lived in New Orleans my whole life, and I've never expected tornadoes to occur in New Orleans." You want to know what somebody commented? They said, "It's because of climate change and COVID." Need I say more? Anyways, the same supercell that spawned a tornado on the west sides of Shreveport on December 13th, it produced an EF3 tornado near the northern fringes of Farmerville, Louisiana, causing major damage and 14 injuries. I saw the radar presentation of this tornado. It did not look impressive. I was not expecting it to be much, but now that I'm reading this, it says an EF3 tornado, so whatever. So far, 60 tornadoes have been confirmed, making this the 3rd largest tornado outbreak on record for the month of December, with the largest tornado outbreak occurring on December 15, 2021, and the 2nd largest occurring on December 10th, 2021. Yep, December for the past couple years has been weird. So here's your meteorological synopsis, because why not? So on December 12th, the Storm Prediction Center outlined a level 2 slight risk of severe weather for parts of southwestern Kansas, western Oklahoma, and northern Texas. I don't know why southwestern, western, and northern are capitalized here. A brief window for discrete supercells was forecasted with the risk of all hazards, tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail, before a transition into a linear mode with the risk of embedded tornadoes and damaging winds. On December 13th, as the associated linear mode... I just read the same line over again. On December 13th, as the associated long-wave trough ejected eastward, the Storm Prediction Center outlined a level 3 enhanced risk of severe weather across eastern Texas, much of Louisiana, and southwestern sections of Mississippi. Environmental conditions were expected to favor the development of semi-discrete supercell structures, with an attendant risk for strong EF2 plus tornadoes, and a broader level 2 slight risk of severe weather encompassed a large share of the South Plains, particularly around the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex, where some questions about the level of instability existed, but wind shear profiles were conducive for severe weather. During the pre-dawn hours, a broken line of atmospheric convection with embedded supercell structures progressed eastward across North Texas and southern Oklahoma. Here, temperatures were in the mid to upper 60s Fahrenheit, and they overlapped with dew points in the low to mid 60s, contributing to modest surface CAPE values of 500 to 1,000 joules per kilogram, which is not impressive. I mean, yeah, there could be tornadoes at 500 CAPE, but the big days, like April 27th, probably had about 5,000 CAPE. So this is nothing to write off about. Combined with strong wind chill profiles, atmospheric conditions led to the development of several tornadoes across the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex through the morning hours, and an EF2 tornado near Wayne, Oklahoma, and McLean County, just south of Norman. I saw that one live as well, and then a couple hours after, actually during the tornado event in this Dallas-Fort Worth area, I made a video about that. It did not do as good as the other videos I made on that day. However, it probably saved people from being unaware of a tornado headed for the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. That could have been the worst case scenario ever. By the early afternoon hours, the surface low-pressure area moved into northeastern Texas, supporting a cold front to the southwest and a warm front to the southeast. In the warm sector of this low, temperatures climbed to upwards of the 70s. That makes no sense. Temperatures climbed upwards to the mid-70s, while dew points reached the upper 60s. This contributed to mid-level CAPE values around 1,000 joules per kilogram, which again is not impressive. Discrete supercells developed within this environment, tracking northeastward with time. As these storms overspread in northern and central Louisiana in the afternoon hours, forecasters warned of the potential for renewed supercell development given the approach of the upper-level trough, both in Louisiana and as well as Mississippi. All the while, the Storm Prediction Center renewed a Level 3 enhanced risk of severe weather valid for December 14th across the Gulf Coast, continuing to highlight a large area for the potential of long-lived supercells capable of producing strong tornadoes. An environment similar to December 10th of last year, except way, way south. However, as the shortwave trough progressed eastward, I skipped the line. With time, discrete activity across the region congealed into an eastward moving line of convection across portions of Louisiana and Mississippi. However, the shortwave trough progressed eastward, strengthening wind fields in a warm sector increasingly destabilized by daytime heating. The SPC became increasingly concerned about the potential for this line to break down into discrete supercells, which it did. These fears prompted the issuance of a Level 4 moderate risk of severe weather across southeastern Louisiana, southern Mississippi, and western and southern Alabama. This I was not expecting to occur, however, it did. So in the light of the volatile atmosphere, numerous discrete supercells developed across the open warm sector in eastern Louisiana and southern Mississippi. Where forecasters outlined a PDS tornado watch and warned the potential for a few intense tornadoes, which did happen. These cells eventually congealed into a line of 5 or 6 dominant supercells, one of them going through New Orleans. And as the threat area shifted eastward with time, additional supercells developed in the northern Gulf of Mexico. These thunderstorms progressed northeastward into the Florida Panhandle, southern Alabama, and southwestern Georgia. So as of right now, there have been confirmed to be 60 tornadoes, but this number is expected to go up because surveys are still going on. So with time, this number will rise, and by the time I come back to this in a few years, the tornado numbers should be confirmed. So here's the confirmed tornadoes as of recording this on Sunday, December 18th, just a few days after the outbreak. There were 2 unrated tornadoes, 11 EF0, 27 EF1, 19 EF2, and as of right now, 1 EF3. I was expecting at least 1 EF4, but luckily that did not happen. And also there was no EF5, so a total of 60 tornadoes plus. This does not add up to 60 as far as I know, unless my math is bad, which it actually is, because this is 60. These 2 tornadoes on December 12th occurred in the Oklahoma Panhandle, briefly touching down, causing barely any damage. And here's the Wayne, Oklahoma one that almost completely destroyed an entire house. Here's the Decatur one I saw. It had a pretty impressive hook on it. This one also had a pretty impressive hook. This actually had a PDS tornado warning. This did too. I'm surprised this did not mention the PDS tornado warnings that were issued. Here's that Grapevine tornado where the video of the guy sitting on a highway, watched it across. Has that very, very small rope-like, but a very intense one. Very intense type of tornado, but whatever. Here's the tornado I saw live. This is the one I said was about a half-mile wide, but in reality it was a little over a quarter-mile wide. But it was still considered a wedge tornado. This was the one that killed 2 people, right? No, this was the one that killed 2 people. The one on the southwest sides of Shreveport. I saw that one live too, but I did not make a video about it. A big mistake on my part. This is the EF3 tornado from this supercell that spawned it. Once this one died, it had a little bit of a hook on the northwest side of Shreveport, but I thought it would not do anything, and it didn't for a while because I thought it would be engulfed in the line of convection right behind it, but in reality it put down the EF3 tornado later on, and I didn't realize it. So a low-end EF3 tornado touched down west of Farmerville, snapping or uprooting numerous trees and inflicting minor damage to a home. So there's that. And then December 14th, arguably the main day of the outbreak, which most likely is the case. New Iberia, this one was a pretty bad tornado. High-end multi-vortex EF2 tornado impacted the eastern part of New Iberia, causing significant damage there. Pretty long track, 25-mile long tornado here. A lot of these I did not watch because I was in school this day. Another big mistake, but whatever. This was the EF2 in New Orleans. Areas that were struck back in March were struck again here. There was in fact a brewery that was hit back in March. It was completely totaled and had to be rebuilt. A total loss there. And just a week ago, prior to this tornado, so about 2 weeks ago now, they had their roof replaced on that brewery, if I can pronounce it correctly, that was just rebuilt from the tornado in March, and that brewery was hit again in this tornado, causing another total loss. So if I were that brewery owner, I'd say pack it up and move to Oklahoma, because they don't get this often. But yes, they do. And then December 15th in EF2 in Georgia, and then this one, Kansas City near Tampa. So alongside the tornado outbreak, there was also a major blizzard in the Great Plains. This is how I describe this outbreak. I describe it as a December 10th type outbreak because of the location. However, the storm structure itself was a December 15th type event, even though the storm was not a derecho. However, it did cause a blizzard on the northern side of the storm, just like December 15th. But a major blizzard occurred in the Great Plains related to the tornado outbreak, leading to heavy snow and freezing rain. In Fargo, North Dakota, all after-school activities on December 13th were canceled. Parts of I-80 and I-76 in Nebraska were shut down due to the blizzard, as well as part of I-90 in South Dakota. Portions of I-29 were also shut down as the storm approached. Freezing rain accumulated peaked at 0.4 inches in Litchfield, North Dakota. Further east, blizzard conditions and thunder snow were verified in Duluth, Minnesota. Power outages totaled 45,000 in Minnesota, 70,000 in Wisconsin, and 43,700 in Michigan. Further east at Penn State, the snowstorm forced the final exams to be rescheduled from December 15th to December 16th and 17th. So just yesterday and 2 days ago. Small portions of I-80 in Pennsylvania were closed due to the storm. As of the morning of the 16th, or last Friday, snow accumulations reached 11.4 inches in Wilmington, Vermont. Ultimately, 50,000 customers in the Northeast lost power. They make it sound like it's worse than the power outage blackout in 2003. But anyways, Amtrak's southbound Heartland Flyer was forced to go at a restricted speed on the morning of December 13th due to severe weather damage along its route, which included the tornadic damage in Wayne, Oklahoma, which was that EF2 tornado. Tornadoes on December 14th delayed the westbound Sunset Limited as well as the northbound and southbound Crescent. Governor John Bell Edwards declared a state of emergency throughout Louisiana on December 13th, and on December 14th, school districts in multiple counties and parishes closed or implemented delayed starts. In Illinois, when we have severe weather, that never happens. I think this should. St. Charles Parish President Matthew Jewell also declared a state of emergency separate from the statewide declaration for the Louisiana Purchase. Wow. The Louisiana Purchase, totally. The Louisiana Parish after a tornado killed one and injured several. Never mind. On December 15th, following the issuance of a tornado watch for parts of Florida, Universal Orlando Resort closed for the day, where I was just at in July. Disney's Blizzard Beach shut down on December 16th and yesterday. Yeah, 16th of yesterday when I'm recording this, due to colder temperatures after the system passed through. So you're saying a beach that is supposed to be a blizzard type atmosphere closed because of cold weather. What? It's just like me just saying the Louisiana Purchase instead of the Louisiana Parish. But whatever. So this has been a special Tornado Facts with Beanrock124 video. This one about the tornado outbreak of December 12th through 15th, 2022. And I will come back to this tornado outbreak in a few years, just like the previous 2 special episodes I've made. So, goodbye.